Aaron Rodgers coming out on the field. Okay, so we've watched him walk out. We've watched him warm up. Now we've watched him walk out again, but in full uniform. Soon we're going to actually get him to watch him play. And now we turn to Cynthia Freeland for the game theory presented by Microsoft Surface. I'm assuming there's not a part of your model that you could just plug in for 13 surgically inserted screws in somebody's clavicle, right?
12, yes. 13 is really the cutoff.
It just blows the whole system apart.
The whole thing
exactly.
is different.
How do you see Aaron Rodgers performing today?
This one's really a big swing. Now, it's not as big of a swing if it were any other quarterback. You know, this is a guy we know a lot about in this matchup. But I'm going to say about 265 yards and 2 touchdowns for the model. 2 reasons. 1, Captain Munnerlyn is inactive today, which means the defensive backs are an even better target than they already were. Luke Kuechly in the middle of the field, that is not a great option, just in general, from a perspective of how well this defense has been playing. And then also, if you look to see, okay, how do they play? What's the formation? They use a lot of empty backfield, so no running back sets with Aaron Rodgers over the past 2 years. They bring in an extra blocker to help him, have some time to let those passes develop. So I'm all in. Aaron Rodgers, nice moonshot if you need it. And
then fantasy owners of Jordy Nelson who are ecstatic that Rodgers returns, you play him.
They should play him.
What does your model say there?
He's a top 10 receiver for me. 6 receptions, 74 yards, and touchdown is the median projection.
Okay, now what about the projection for Nick Foles and his impact on his weapons? What do you see here?
So we do have a little history here. Nick Foles played in this offense with actually the same coach, Doug Peterson, although Chip Kelly was the head coach. So we've seen these RPOs, which they've been running with Carson Wentz, which means Alshon Jeffrey, absolutely a good play. 4 receptions, 64 yards, and the touchdown for me in this one. And remember, left guard Steven Wisniewski, he's not playing. He's inactive, which means the running opportunity becomes worse. Left guard's out, not as good to run.
Okay, and then lastly, how do you see in the heavyweight bout tonight or later on this afternoon in CBS, how do you see Brady and Roethlisberger faring today?
Number 1, number 2, maybe number 3 quarterbacks for the entire week. Brady has a little bit better fantasy day with over 315 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Roethlisberger, 299 and 2 touchdowns. So it's, 6 and 1/2 dozen of another in this matchup.
Okay, that's what Cynthia...
Even with Chris Hogan out, that didn't change anything. It's a lot of Gronk in that one.
Okay, and we're going to be picking this game shortly, and we'll find out what Cynthia Freeland's projection on that game is. Cam is out there on the field doing the Superman thing before the game and getting ready to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, MVP QB versus MVP QB in Charlotte. Stacey Dales kicks off our final reporter whip around.
Rich, first game for Rodgers since October 15th. I just watched him run on the field. The first fist bump he gave was to the opponent, linebacker Thomas Davis. That won't be happening in this game. I just talked to a Panther source. They are going to come after him. They feel like he can't hold the ball. The Panthers are going to bring the heat today. Right now, I'm going to send you to East Rutherford and Kim Jones. Kim?
Stacey, when the teams came out for warm-ups, it sounded like an Eagles home game. Eagles cheered, Giants booed. Lots of Eagles fans in the house. Maybe the Giants fans are still tailgating. Let's go to New Orleans and Jane.
Thanks, Kim. Well, after losing rookie Alvin Kamara in the opening drive of that loss to the Falcons, we all saw just how important Kamara is to this offense. Good news, he is back after clearing concussion protocol. This season, he is averaging 8.4 yards per touch. Now let's say hi to Aditi Kikabwala.
Jane, ever since the Steelers lost to the Patriots in last year's AFC title game and Tom Brady picked apart their zone defense, the Steelers have been obsessed with being able to play man coverage in their secondary. Well, Joe Hayden, a big, huge part of that, may make his return today. We'll have our eye on that in the next few hours. Now to Alex Flanagan, who's in Seattle.
Good morning, Aditi. Well, ever since Russell Wilson entered the league, the Seahawks have made the playoffs and pretty much controlled their division. Well, that could change today. The Rams now are in control of this division and are on pace and looking to make the playoffs for the first time since 2004. Rich, back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Under this guy right here, Pete Carroll, the Seahawks have dominated the NFC West. But at 8-5 and trailing the Rams by 1 game, not to mention a banged-up defense, things are a little different this year. So I sat down with Pete. We talked about these 2 great quarterbacks and about that rookie head coach named Sean McVay, and yes, the importance of today's big game.
What's up?
There he is. Hi, Pete.
All the way from Saratoga or wherever?
All the way from Saratoga. How you doing, man?
Good. How you been?
I'm good to see you, too.
Huh?
You too? Isn't that right there? That's the hot seat, I guess, right here.
Hey, do you guys know that I was in the first meeting that Mooch ever had? Your very first meeting you had
Was
with
I
the
nervous?
staff at the Niners. Oh, gosh, you were so nervous.
Why? So you were there for a few weeks?
Barely, yeah.
And then you left me and went to New England.
You did great without me.
You've done well without me, too. You've won this division 3 out of the last 4 years. And now here come the Rams. How important is it for the Seahawks to win this division and play a playoff game at home in front of the 12s?
Well, in terms of going on from that point, there's nothing that's more important. That's why, owning this division is really a crucial goal. And we know that when we play at home, we're really hard to beat, and it's a factor for us. So to do everything we can to position ourselves for that first opportunity is enormously important.
From what you've seen, what's different this year with Jared Goff?
Oh, gosh, it's night and day. Night and day. He's so much more in command than he was last year, mentally and physically. He's physically in command of the offense. He can make all the throws that they're asking him to make. That's great coaching.
Yeah, it really is. And your defense is banged up. Your great defense, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Cliff Averill. You're a banged up defense right now.
Bring me you're tired, bring me you're weak, bring me you're hungry. We'll find a way somehow. You're making it sound so bleak. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right.
So how do you slow them down then?
We have to execute our defense to be in the right spots, and we're going to have to respond really well to the plays that Gurley can make. He can really make things happen on any kind of play, and so you have to tackle really well, and we've got to be in all those right spots. So it's a big calling.
You and I both have kids that are older than Sean McVay. He's the youngest coach in the league. You're the oldest coach in the league. Give me one advantage you think he has being young.
No, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. He's done nothing but good stuff. There's challenging times ahead. And no matter how you've done it or how you do it, but right now he's just rolling and doing everything exactly the way we want.
It's just a pretty big game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the only game we got. And it's a championship matchup of perfect proportions. We've been preparing all year for this game.
A good old-fashioned Western Division, the NFC Pacific Coast game that I think the Rams are going to win. I am genuinely concerned about Bobby Wagner's hamstring. He says he's going to give it a go and he's going to play. If he goes, and I know everybody, they're already so banged up. Bobby Wagner's the guy in the middle there, and I think the Rams go up there and get their 10th win and take control of this division, Steve.
Yeah, I thought that until I went up there.
Okay.
Because I watched him practice. Russell Wilson's amazing, man.
He is amazing. He is amazing.
And this team with Pete at the helm, this team is wired in now. I know they're missing guys, and the Rams are healthier. It's going to rain up there. I think that favors Seattle. So I'm going to take them because I interviewed them and I watched them practice, and I think they're going to respond. Their back's against the wall. They got to have this win.
I'm going with the Rams. The first game was close, 5 turnovers. As you said, Rich, banged up defensively. I just feel like right now, if the Rams are good, going to get this
ever
run,
going to do it,
then it has to be right now because you're in better shape to do that. I'm going with the Rams.
And I thought even after the last time they played, that's what the Rams should have walked away with, saying, how did we let this game get away?
He's taking the Seahawks, Steve. Don't put
no
that
way we should have let them gotten away with that game. No, I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams are going to beat them handily.
Okay.
Handily.
Steve Mariucci
Handily.
does not like doing this, so it's always enjoyable.
Pete, let's go. Don't make me look like a fool. Oh, I already did.
Cynthia Freeland says it's a 3-point Rams win, and it's almost a coin flip with the fans, but 53% say Rams. All right, let's get to the marquee event. It's a main event. Patriots, Steelers, Michael Irvin.
And I saw Tom.
What do you have?
I saw Tom go through, what he usually goes through in Miami last week. I'm imagining he's going to go through what he usually goes through right here in Pittsburgh with a victory. I'm taking New England to take that game.
Yeah, I talked to Todd Haley earlier in the year. He was mad at me because I didn't pick him. I told him I was going to pick him every game the rest of the year. I'm going Steelers here.
You've been doing this for 12 years or whatever it's been, and I don't remember you've taken the opponent of the Patriots very often, ever. Today, I'm taking the Steelers at home with the Killer Bees. Yeah, in a shootout, though. Double 40 burger.
Going to be a game. They don't lose 2 in a row, Rick.
Just because, I know they don't lose 2 in a row, but no Kyle Van Noy in the middle, no Alan Branch in the middle. Here comes Le'Veon Bell. We saw what Kenyon Drake did to this defense. I know Gronk's coming back, but they can still go point for point with Tom Brady. And just because I'm taking the Steelers does not mean Brady and the Patriots come back in January and lose that rematch. I'm taking the Steelers. Look at him, lone wolf for the Patriots.
I have.
Man, oh man.
2 in a row, buddy. Won't do it.
I'll tell you what, it's got to feel good to be a lone wolf with the Patriots in your back pocket, too. But Cynthia Freeland, her projection is a 1-point Patriots win.
What?
The fans go 58% for the Steelers.
Cynthia's a smart girl.
Oh, my gosh.
Smart girl. She's right on.
We will pick this game.